It's me, Ben Bankas, and I'm on tour. Portland, Oregon, August 27th to 29th. We just added a matinee show on Saturday. Go get your tickets, benbankas.com for all of these. Charlestown, West Virginia, September 5th. We sold out. September 4th, we got tickets. Aurora, Illinois, sold out. Austin, Minnesota, sold out. Calgary, Alberta, 2 shows sold out, but we added a third, September 13th, Sunday, at Deerfoot Inn and Casino. Syracuse, New York, we sold out, but we added a show. Albany, New York, sold out. Springfield, Massachusetts, still a couple tickets left for one show on September 19th at our Roar Comedy Club. Englewood, New Jersey, this is going to be the biggest comedy show I've ever done in New Jersey at the Bergen Performing Arts Center near Manhattan, Englewood, New Jersey, September 24th. Get your tickets, benbankas.com. Stroudsburg, PA, September 25th. This will be the biggest show that I've ever done in Pennsylvania. One couple seats bigger than the show I'm doing in Bensalem that sold out. Patch Hog, New York, Long Island. Biggest show I've ever done in Long Island. Tickets for September 26th are on sale. There's a few left. It's actually about 95% sold out. Birmingham, Alabama, September 30th. October, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, Miami, Salt Lake City, Utah, San Diego, California, Pasadena, California, Hollywood, California, Ontario, California, Brea, California, Nashville, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Florida, and then November, New York City, New York Comedy Festival at Town Hall, November 12th, Port Charlotte, Florida, Tampa, Florida, Orlando, Florida, Sarasota, Florida, Naples, Florida, finishing the year off in Niagara Falls, Canada. BenBankas.com. I love you guys. Can't wait to see you. Please share this podcast with your friends. Please like and subscribe, whether you're on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. It doesn't matter. Send this link to somebody because my fans need to hear what I have to say. Enjoy the show. First and foremost, I want to address something that, everybody on my Instagram, he's on guess Ozempic's working. I guess he's on Ozempic. You really think a guy that was against everything that was happening during COVID is going to take a vaccine every week to be thin? The answer is, of course I would. But when I went to the doctor and asked for Ozempic, they said I was too fat. So actually, this is the prelim. I'm losing weight so that I'm allowed to do it. But now that I've lost it, I'm not going to do it. And really, I'm joking. I was never going to do it. But instead, I do something called anorexia. Have you heard of it? You don't eat, and then you get on an exercise machine and you work out, and then you look at yourself in the mirror and go, you're disgusting. You look awful. Ugh. Puh. And you do that, and then you weigh yourself every 10 minutes, and then eventually you lose a lot of weight. But I did cut out a lot of unhealthy things and sugar and alcohol and, bread, except unless it's a nice restaurant once every couple of weeks. Maybe I'll have a little nibble, a little niblet. You know what I'm saying? But no more fried foods, no deep fried, no late night shit, no trash, no road food, going to grocery stores, doing that kind of thing. That's how you get fit, not drugs and GLPs and whatever LP. This is the only P you need, the BP, the Bankas Podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts. So people need to chill with that. And also, like, even if I was on Ozempic, which I'm not, but if I have no reason to lie. I don't give a shit. But even if I was, like, people are like, oh, I guess the Ozempic's working. And you look at their profile, they're like 500 pounds. You're like, bro, you need it. I didn't. I wasn't as fat as you. But I don't know. There's a lot. This is what happens whenever you're winning in life, or if you lose weight, or if you are being successful with your business, people will hate on it. Me losing weight triggered a lot of people. I was getting 0 death threats or anything for a long time, but then all of a sudden I'm losing weight. People are more mad at me now than they were when I said something offensive before when I was overweight. So there's a trigger. People see, oh, he's bettering himself. No, I really have to make him feel bad because then I don't want him to feel really good about himself and be confident and not give a shit what I think because, he needs to know what I think. And then they send me like 3 emails with vague death threats. And it's like, bro, we already found your shitty tattoo studio in Delaware. Like, we know everything about you now when you send an email. So, AI search, boom, you're cooked. So chill. If you're triggered that a guy that you follow on Instagram is doing something better for themselves, that means you probably are in desperate need to do something better for yourself, but you're not doing it because you're lazy and you rather get mad at me and blame me. I mean, people, oh, easy for him. What do you mean easy for me? I'm an immigrant. I had to get paperwork. I had to hire lawyers, Jewish lawyers, by the way, to get me the ability to work in the U.S. I had to build my following from scratch because nobody's really sharing my content, although we did have some really cool guests this past weekend who have shared my content and are very, dear to me now. In the last little while, if you don't know, was just recently in Austin, Texas, 5 sold out shows. That's where I moved from Toronto to Austin, so it meant a lot to me to be able to sell out 5 shows in my new hometown, Toronto. This beginning of this year, the end of last year, we did 3,200 seat theater. And this year we sold out a bunch of yuck shows just randomly, I think 2 or 3 pop-ups, but we're planning something big. But the point is when you move to a new city and you sell that out as a comic, that means a lot. Okay? And the people who came out to support me, the first night we had Dusty, what was his name? Dustin Rhodes, who's the brother of Cody Rhodes, who's the son of other Dusty Rhodes. So he's Dusty Jr. He's Dustin, and he was in the WWF but I think it was called the WWF when he was in it as Gold Dust. And he came to my show. Gold Dust, if you don't know, the flamboyant pseudo-trans character from the WWF, I guess. Somebody told me this. I don't even know if this is true, but apparently. But the guy Dustin, is a cool guy. Came and said hello, had a great time at the show. The next night we had my friend Roseanne Barr, who, she's the great Roseanne Barr. She's an incredible woman, comic, pioneer, thought leader, comedy for years and in the industry and a game changer. She's everything, and she's been supportive of me, and that means a lot. So she came out to the show with her son Jake, who they do their podcast together, which I'm going to go on their podcast soon. And they hung out and chilled in the green room, and it was really fun. And they brought their friend Dinesh D'Souza, who's this author. I didn't really, he's an author, and I didn't really know who he was, but he's a big podcaster. I knew of him, but I didn't know him super well. But we met, and he came to the show and loved it, and I just did his podcast, and it was cool. It was cool to see the support there at Cap City. And, the area that Cap City's in is nicer than where Mothership is, although Mothership is a cooler venue in a lot of, it's much more expensive-looking venue on the inside. Both of them actually are really nice build-outs. Now I'm talking, that's my commercial real estate side. It's a nice build-out. How much does the landlord charge you for that? Well, the difference is that the landlord probably built out the Cap City room to like whatever they said they wanted, and whereas Mothership is like to the T. They had Louis C.K. come in and check the ha acoustics, and with Rogan, them, they all plan. It's so meticulously done. But 6th Street, downtown Austin versus basically it's like in Austin's Rodeo Drive, which is at the Domain. It's right beside the Balenciaga store and all those other child sacrifice brands that I like. And it was it was cool. It was just cool to be in my new home and see the fans here. And some people flew in. Somebody flew from Alaska to see me, which was absolutely crazy. There was a big group from Canada that came down. Um, so it was really cool. But continuing the tour, Red Bank, New Jersey, Ben Salem. This is the biggest show I've ever done in Pennsylvania, and these things. I'm sure you're wondering what this stuff is here next to me. These are some pictures that I purchased when I was in Los Angeles, and one of the hotels that I stayed at, had a gallery, an art gallery, a photography gallery. And I started looking around, and there's a bunch of pictures of celebrities that really these pictures you've never seen because they're sold by the photographers that have the proprietary rights over these pictures. You can't just Google them and find them. And so I didn't really see who I want. There was more rock stars and movie stars, but I asked, "Do you have comedians?" So we sat down, and they were able to help me. And I'm going to unbox one of these, and then the other two we're going to do on Patreon. So if you love the podcast, you support me, join Patreon. We're trying to make it big, obviously. But this is a beautifully wrapped. Wow. I can't even see it yet. You guys can see it before me. Oh, it's Don. Don Rickles. Beautiful Don Rickles picture that I was so lucky to get from this amazing gallery, the Morrison Hotel Gallery in Los Angeles. And Don Rickles, another pioneer, comedy pioneer, was in movies, was close with Johnny Carson, and he was able to he did that famous stand-up act when Ronald Reagan was inaugurated, and they did stand-up comedy when he was inaugurated. I don't know if Ronald Reagan must have been 8 years, right? So I don't know if it was the first or second run, but he had Don Rickles do stand-up and roast everybody and break everybody down by race, by religion, and that was, to me, especially watching that as a young comic, that clip of, I don't know if you can pull it up, but you don't have to pull it up, but an unbelievable feat for a comedian to represent their country and be able to speak in front of the president of the United States, make fun of him, make fun of everybody, make them laugh, make them feel at home. And that's American culture to me. That's American culture. As a Canadian, watching my whole life from up there, American culture was the freedom to make fun of and say whatever you want and get a laugh and bring people closer together. When nowadays I feel like the left tries to make it seem like if you make fun of this person because of their differences, then that exasperates their differences and makes them feel worse. No, it doesn't. If you're making fun of somebody's differences, you're trying to bring them closer to you. You're trying to get that out of the way. Hey, yeah, haha, you're this, you're that, you're Asians. Oh, so you got the math there, right? Whatever little bit it is, it's to bring everybody closer. And I think that was something that Don Rickles really embodied. And he was just such a big part of comedy. And, he wasn't the biggest star at the time, but he was one of the big stars, and he had a really important voice. And I think they gave me a better picture than what I actually paid for, because I don't think they had exactly what I bought, and they felt bad. But this is like super cool with his. I don't know if that's not his signature, but that's the signature of the photographer, and that was taken in 1981. Not 11 years before I was born. And he was already just absolutely. And no social media. You had to make it. There was only one way to make it. You couldn't be on social media and just get big that way. You really had to you really had to pull out all the stops, man. Be great. True greatness back then, where you couldn't mask it, couldn't edit it, couldn't cut the clip short. It was all take that one, yeah. It was all just masterfully done. I think that's what we forget about these days is how perfect humans were able to be before robots. Everybody goes, wow, the robots are really able to be super precise and blah, blah, blah. But where do you think we got the idea for being precise? From humans. Look at the Sistine Chapel. Look at all those ancient architectural masterpieces. Those were made without computers. Those were made without AI. Those were made without calculators, without anything, really, except for a chisel and pen and paper. So if they can make the Sistine Chapel with a chisel and pen and paper, that means us humans, us lowly humans in this new AI world, we really are capable of anything. We are capable of making the best possible comedy set that you've ever seen, where you go and you go, oh my God, it was just perfect the way he did it. And then you went, but maybe the comedian themselves, oh, I fucked that part up. And I bet even the people who were building those architectural feats took time to go, I kind of screwed that little part up, and I did. Nobody's perfect, but they were striving for perfection. And even the robots aren't perfect, okay? I got the Tesla. Sometimes it slams on the brakes in the middle of the highway. Nobody knows why. They saw a ghost. The robots are not perfect either. So stop. Yeah, they're quicker at adding up and calculations, but they're not quicker at emotions. They have no emotions yet. Those creeps, Sam Altman and those guys who are sitting there going, AGI's here. Like they're in some weird creepy room with one AI it's not allowed out of that room going, tell me a joke, make me laugh. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. These guys are out of their minds. But I'll tell you what I'm doing. I am in a moment of my career where this is, a lot of guys would go, okay, fuck a podcast. We don't need a pod. But I'm in a point in my career where I want to talk to you guys. I don't want people to think every show that I'm doing, I have people walking out or I have to kick people out of my shows. It's just not happening. It's not happening, but every once in a while it happens. And the reason that it gets posted or was getting posted so much is because I was desperately trying not to post my material, which I think is so really good right now. And I'm about to do this really special thing where I'm putting a lot of money into a comedy special that I'm going to be taping soon, very soon. And that's where you're going to, once that's done, you're going to see those bits. And there's going to be more of that. Like when I posted the fires and I posted about the FIFA, right now there's all calm. There's nothing happening right now. Thank God. Let me work on this act and put it out properly. But I want you guys to hear me talk. I want to talk to you and put out content. And that's why Bankas, my podcast, Bankas Podcasts, that's where you got to be. People come up to me after shows and go, I listened to you the first thing in the morning. I'm like, what are you talking? Listen to the podcast. It's a full 30 minutes of free podcast, and then you get 30 minutes of paid podcast, which I'm sure people go, I don't want to do that. People don't have no fucking ideas. Like, I'm working from behind here. There's people who have, 30,000 people give them $5 a month. What is that? $500,000 a month or something? I mean, people are ahead. So I'm working from behind, but it's pretty easy. If I wanted to support a comic, $5 a month, I mean, Jesus, give me a fucking break. It sucks. It sucks that they, you know, but you have to do everything you can as a business owner to expand, to grow. That's what a business does. That's why a lot of people fuck up at, I think, at this business, is they forget it's a business. They get, the manager, this, that, everybody's involved, and they try to just not do anything. You still have to be involved. All those people merely, are there for you to kind of give suggestions as well. They don't know that, only you, the artist, know truly what to do in all situations in terms of being on stage. The artist is the only person who knows what to do to get out of that situation. You can't call your manager when you're on stage. You can't call your agent. So that energy, that instinct that gets you, that's the survival instinct, is used in everything. And that's the same for, I posted the clip about how people need to start a business if they're sick and tired of being poor and they're pissed off, but they don't want to start a business. They don't want to start a lawnmower business. Some guy commented, "Oh, Ben Bankas telling me how to cut my own lawn." It's like, bro, if you're commenting on a video, and I want you guys to comment, obviously, because I, make money off of it. But if you're commenting on anything, like, you're not working hard enough. Unless, okay, you take it. My friends, if they fucking find something funny of mine, they're going to send it to me and go, haha. They're not commenting like a lunatic, okay? I'll comment on comic stuff, positive stuff, if it's my boy and I'm trying to, talk to them, hang out with them. If we already, I'm trying to boost them up. So. What else did I do today? I went to the gym. Oh, that's the other thing. I do about an hour and a half of cardio every day. And then I do about 40 minutes of weights or so. And that usually does it. Have a protein shake. Or fast. Today I fasted. Then I ate well. Probably won't eat. Maybe have a protein. That's a good thing, too, for the fatties out there that want to lose weight. Well, I come home and then I'm hungry. That was my big thing. Like, after shows, you're just like, I'm hungry. I just want to eat after the show. Have a protein shake. You're not hungry. You're deficient in protein, usually. So the second you have a protein shake, you just chill out. Your body's like, oh, actually, I'm not hungry. I just needed like a fucking injection. Don't eat. Inject yourself with Ozempic. All the people, people who are like 500 pounds who are like, I'm not doing Ozempic. That's insane. I was 300. That's still, I didn't need to do it and didn't do it. I'm proud that I didn't. But after those shows, man, some shows I would come home and just start eating chicken nuggets and burgers, and we'd order from like multiple restaurants. There were nights that we ordered pho and then like also McDonald's. So we were like dipping chicken nuggets in like pho noodle soup and just completely like there's the falling asleep on your side where you like push your gut to one side and then it feels like there's just a fucking cement block in your stomach, and then you wake up and just blast it out, just destroy a fucking hotel bathroom. It's just awful. So now you go to bed thin, you think thin. You got to think thin. And ask for help from the universe, from whoever's going to help you. You. Ask yourself for help. You ever do that? You fucking loser? You fucking people are fucking losers. Seriously, some of you. Oh, he's not very nice to his fans. I'm nice to my fans. The ones that like the post, send it to their friends, buy a ticket. I'm not that nice to people who comment nasty things or come to the shows. The people who come to the shows and yell out and heckle are the same people that are mean in the comments and think, well, I'm just a dick in the comments. I'm not actually a dick in real life. But then in real life, they actually are a fucking dick. It's one thing. I put out a piece of content that may or may not be controversial. Somebody making a comment on that that doesn't creatively, that's not an equal. You're not equal to a creator or an artist because you have an opinion on their art. Your opinion is not art. I'm sorry. It's an opinion. So you commenting like, oh, well, he thinks he can be mean. Why can't I be mean to him? I mean, you can. You just look like a psychopath and a loser. That's the point. And this other thing about how, oh, well, so what? If you're not rich, you shouldn't be happy. You're not successful. Well, kind of. Yeah. Sorry, but you're poor and you work at CVS every day and you wake up and you bust your ass on a bus with a bunch of homeless people. And yeah, you're a fucking loser. Oh, but you know how hard it is to make your way out of that? Well, is it? I mean, okay, you spread your legs from, since you were in high school and you had 4 kids and yeah, you fucked it up. Sorry. But you can still fix it, but you got to make some sacrifices. Like maybe you got to move out of this town. Maybe you got to move cities. Maybe you got to start a business. You got to save up for a bit and start a business. You don't need money to start a business. I mean, $200 to make the LLC. You can, if you're an American citizen, you can go to the bank and say, "Hey, I'm starting a pool cleaning business. It costs 30 grand to buy the equipment. I need a loan." They'll give you a loan. They don't give a shit at the bank. They'll give you a $30K loan to buy a bunch of shitty pool shit and vacuums and stuff and start driving around in your shitbox Chevy Silverado and doing a couple pool cleanings. I mean, give me a break. Oh, well, there's already pool cleaners. There's always room for competition, folks. That's the beauty of it. There's an endless almost supply of people, 8 billion people and growing every day on this planet who need everything. They all need the same things. They want food, shelter, drink, entertainment. They want to laugh. They want to get exercise. They want to eat. They want whatever it is. Everybody wants everything. So I don't want to hear this bullshit that there's too much competition. I could have said that. I could have said that as a comic in Toronto going, there's too much competition. America's too big. I don't want to go. I shouldn't go. I don't need to go. I can just do a little show here. And then what? Those people end up fucking almost homeless because their expectations are so low. If your expectations are here, you maybe hit here. Maybe you'll hit here. But you might also go just under. So the higher you aim, the higher you end up, for fuck's sake. Losers. Listen, if you just listened to what I was telling you and did what I was telling you, then you'd be farther. But you're not. You don't do what I tell you. Nobody does. And that's good. I like if you don't, because fuck you. You don't deserve to have what I have. You're a loser. Stay over there. And then there's people who have more than me. I look up to them. I look up to people who have more. I don't look up to people who have less. Is that what communism is? I look up to the average loser on the street who's addicted to fentanyl. That's who I look up. No, I look up to people with a bigger pool, a bigger backyard, more cars, nicer things, private jet. If you have a private jet, I look up to you. I might think you're a dick, maybe. I don't think you'll think I'm a dick because I look up to you, but maybe you'll give me a hand and teach me how to be more of an asshole. I love that. Those are the best. I love being with a rich guy and they go and then you tell them that you're a dick to one of your employees or somebody and they go, "Oh, that's nothing." You know what I mean? Because it's fucking scary out there. You don't think rich people are more scared than poor people? Poor people are living in like a normal reality where they're like, "Well, I got an apartment and I can afford it. Then I got an extra $700 to run around town." And rich people are like, "Holy fuck! I just spent $1 million. This is retarded. Why the fuck am I spending $1 million on this or that or, you know?" So, if you're liking the podcast, please send it to your friends. Send them the free version. And if you really like it, you want to be an insider, a comedy insider, you want to be really on my team and really help, you join Patreon and you can listen to the second 30 minutes of this podcast. Very easy to join. Patreon.com/Ben Bankas. It is, I believe, $5 US per month. There's a couple tiers. I think you can pay $25 if you want. You can pay less than $15 if you want, something like that. Super easy. We'll see you over there. I'm continuing this conversation and podcast over there.